Welcome back to Families in Action right here on KHTS AM 1220, your hometown station. Cary, today we're talking about February is actually Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. And of course, we have our good friend Linda Davies here with us. Before I throw it to Linda real quickly, I just wanted to read this to you. Among female victims of intimate partner violence, 94% of those aged 16 to 19 and 70% of those aged 20 to 24 were victimized by a current or former boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah, the numbers are crazy.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, that's the truth of it, you know. And so one of the things I wanted to say, because we had mentioned the domestic violence hotline in Santa Clarita, but I also wanted to say that if you're a teen and you want to talk to somebody about dating abuse, there is a national dating abuse hotline, and it's a helpline, basically, and the number is 1-866-331-9474, or you can text 77054. Text 77054, and you will be able to text somebody who will actually will get back to you about this to answer any of your questions.
And this is a confidential thing.
It's a confidential thing. That's exactly what it is.
But you just want to break the silence. You don't want to be silent.
And I think that, honestly, when we talk about it, I mean, one of the things, I'm going to introduce Brenda again in a minute to talk about. She's been doing our teen work in our high schools, and there's a reason that she wanted to do it. It's a personal reason. A lot of us have personal reasons why we get into this field. But I think that people don't know how to ask the questions. If grown-ups can't ask if they're in a domestic violence situation, imagine if you're a teen and it's important to have a boyfriend and it's important to have peers, that, hey, you have somebody to hang around with, and all of a sudden your boyfriend is abusing you, or basically what happens a lot is really emotional abuse. There is physical abuse, but a lot of emotional abuse, a lot of the cyber abuse that happens. And so you don't know where to go.
Right.
And so that's why it's important that we get into the schools and talk to kids about it, and that parents also understand that kids need this. It's not something, because like we call ourselves Healthy Relationship, and we're calling ourselves Healthy Relationships Advocates, because people get worried, I don't want my daughter going to a domestic violence thing or my son going to a domestic violence thing. I don't want them to think that's happening in my home. Well, if you keep that barrier up, then guess what? You're going to hurt your child. Think of us as a place to come to talk about healthy relationships, to talk about the respect that really should be happening to you when you're in love with someone who's supposed to be caring for you, and you're young and you really want that to be something important and special. And so, Brenda, if you've been fabulous on the fact of sharing some of your youth experience when you were a teen. You're not that far from being a teen right now, but are you willing now to talk a little bit about what went on?
Yes. From the ages of 15 to 18, I was in an abusive relationship. At the time, I didn't know where to go to. To me, I thought it was normal. I came from a domestic violence home, so I thought what I'm experiencing is normal. This argument, it's healthy. Everything I thought was healthy for me at the moment, and it was until I finally, decided to leave and broke the cycle. But it's a repeated cycle.
Right.
You grow up with it, and then you go into a relationship thinking this may be normal. I wasn't educated to know anything.
Awful courageous of you to say, hey, enough, and to now jump into this side of the deal, where you now are reaching out and helping people. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love going into the high schools and, sharing a little bit about what I went through, but also, creating that awareness, because when I was in high school and sitting in that desk, I didn't know. I didn't have someone come in and tell me this is what a healthy relationship looks like. I only had what an unhealthy relationship
And if you
like.
did, they're older, they're teachers and counselors and stuff like that. Kids hear it from other kids or people young, their age, a whole lot better than they would from us.
Yeah.
Right. And there's also, Brenda, I think a lot of the schools don't talk about healthy relationships. And that's something that I know that the Senate has tried. There's been Senate bills that have been presented to actually have that that put into curriculums in the health classes,
Right.
and it hasn't actually been accepted to go into them. And so that's why it's been great that the schools have been willing to let us go into health classes and to talk about this.
Right.
What happens when you go into those classes?
Well, we go in and we have a curriculum, we have a PowerPoint, and we are able to, do some activities so the teenagers can be involved themselves, and we encourage them to do peer-to-peer education. We want them to communicate within each other, and we present different topics from sexual assault to bullying to different topics every week. It's an 11 unit, so we would do 11 weeks, and we go
Right.
into, once a week to each class.
And do you explain to them what a healthy relationship looks like?
Yes,
and
we
what
do.
is that?
I was going to say,
What is a healthy? Let's all figure it out. What's a healthy relationship?
Figure it out here.
Yeah.
But we do, of course, we try to promote that healthy relationship. So we discuss about, the respect, the mutuality, the honesty, the fairness in the relationships. We try to promote that as much as we can, not just focusing on what is not healthy.
You actually have. I was just looking. You have a dater's Bill of Rights.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This
Yeah.
is really cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do we have time to read this? Or
Yeah.
I won't,
Yeah, have Brenda read it because
Yeah.
she's been putting this together to go out to the schools so that she can actually talk about that. And she has the teen hotline on there as well.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
But go for it.
Okay, so the Dater's Bill of Rights. I have the right to refuse to date without feeling guilty. I have the right to always be treated with respect. I have the right to be in a healthy relationship. I have the right to have my own privacy. I have the right to refuse sex or affection at any time. I have the right to have friends and activities apart from my partner.
Say that again. That's a good one.
I have the
They're
right-
all good,
Yeah,
but
that's a good one.
I have the right to have friends and activities apart from my partner.
important.
Very.
Okay.
I have the right to have an equal relationship with my partner. I have the right to my own opinion, to express it, and to be taken seriously. I have the right to say no at any time. I have the right to change goals whenever I want to. I have the right not to be physically and emotionally hurt. I have the right to end a relationship.
Pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah.
But very clear. That's
Yes.
wow, that's great stuff.
I think one of the things that's even simple is that do we always do what he likes to do, or if we're talking about a power and control relationship, it is always the teen that wants to, I'm doing what I want to do, but never thinks about what she wants to do.
Or
I know
vice
that
versa.
That's in there, or vice versa, absolutely. And I think that's something that people don't quite understand because they, want to please. And I think, again, the media shows that, women are natural caregivers anyway. And so then all of a sudden we're put in these situations where, we're falling in love with somebody and he wants, I love to do this, I love to do that. But to really know that there's a balance, to know that he should be doing the same things that I like to do and hanging out with my friends, not just with his friends, and
Right.
kind of watching that stuff. And I think in the beginning, a lot of times, right? Girls don't do that. Women don't do it either, but young girls don't do that, right? They think, this is really cool. I'm going to hang out with him with all his friends.
Right.
And then-
Or vice versa.
Right.
It's really something that we got to learn.
Right.
And it really needs to be taught to people at a young age. Otherwise, we grow up not knowing.
Right.
And I want to say something here because I think this is important. I've been married 45 years, and in this day and age, it's sad to me that occasionally somebody will say to the same lady, to which I respond, yes, I caught my limit. But people always ask me, what's the secret? And there really isn't a secret, but my wife and I both agree on this. You can't be selfish, and you have to communicate.
Oh, yes, and that's something we express. When we go into the high school, healthy communication is very important. To have that healthy communication with your partner, it's, if you don't have that, it makes it very difficult.
And then there's resentments, and
Yes.
with resentments comes anger, and we can go on for days with that.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to also have Kristen have a chance to talk about what she's doing and kind of how she has come to the Domestic Violence Center, but also more what her campaign is.
She's on a
trying to
mission,
do.
isn't she?
She is on a mission.
Let's hear about it, Christian. What's your
Just
mission?
get right up to that microphone.
I am doing a campaign with the NCADV, which is the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, and I'm raising $10,000 by the end of my senior year to donate to them. And the inspiration behind this project is my own story. When I was younger, my dad was really abusive, and my mom and I did get away, but when you escape a domestic violence situation, you're not really escaping it because you're left with all of the emotional pain and physical pain, and then also there's a huge financial burden, which is an incredibly significant piece of the whole situation. And I wish that someone was there to help support us financially. And we did have, my grandparents and we had family members and my mom's friends. They were very instrumental in the whole process of us rebuilding our lives and supporting ourselves independently. However, it was still very difficult, especially since she's a single mother and I'm a young child. I don't work. I was like 3. So
Get a job.
it was difficult, but as I walk into womanhood and adulthood, because I will be going to college after this school year, I just wanted to do something to give back to the community because I feel like
You're still in high school?
Yes.
Wow, you are a well-spoken lady.
Wow, she's amazing.
And your
Thank
mother is over here beaming. You're doing so
Yeah, I
well.
know. Is she? You know what? She's amazing.
She is.
Yeah,
Thank you. But this is just kind of my way of giving back because I feel like I know that I'm very, very blessed and I could have gone down a completely different path.
Yes.
But I'm very involved in school and the community, and I have a ton of amazing friends. I actually am very proud of the way that I carry myself as a young woman.
As you should be.
Thank
You do.
you. And I'm just really excited about life, and I want other kids who are in my position to be excited about life and to be afforded the same opportunities, different opportunities. I want them to know that you can do whatever you want to do, no matter where you come from or what you do or don't have. Anything's possible.
Cary, she said something important a moment ago. She said a lot of things.
stuff.
She said a lot.
did.
But one thing.
Everything she said was important.
It was. But one thing stood out to me, and we talk about this all the time. Choices.
Yes.
She said, I had different roads I could have chosen.
We can choose to be a victim
Right.
of circumstances and not ever leave that victim role, or we can choose, like you said, to wake up and say, you know what, I'm going to do something about this.
Yeah.
It's not going to hold me back.
Yeah.
And that's what you did. You made a decision.
Bravo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Mom. What do you think? I have to join. You have to join in, didn't she? Isn't she?
I'm amazed every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Just the things that she was only 2.5, 3 years old. But
Let's get you up here.
Go
oh
ahead.
my gosh. Okay.
Here we go.
I wasn't trying to do this today. Okay. No, she was very young, and this is another piece that I think parents miss a lot as well, because I didn't think as young as she was, the things that she remembered, I was amazed.
Very much so. The younger kids,
Amazed.
even babies in cribs who hear the fighting are affected.
If I want to know what's going on in somebody's home, I'll ask the younger children. They always know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her dad kidnapped her. So her situation was so traumatic. It took years, like little bits and pieces would come out here and there, but I never imagined how much she remembered. But she made a choice very early on, and I was always just paying attention to all those things that she was interested in, even if I did not have a dime to pay for it. Okay, where can I get her a scholarship for this? Or where can I get her just somewhere to keep her mind occupied and busy and on positive things,
Right.
as opposed to the negativity that, hearing, because she didn't go to court a lot with me, but hearing about going to court and why isn't my dad present, and why isn't, those things to keep her occupied and her mind off of it, and it worked. It paid off.
You love her a lot, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
She's my world. She's my world. Yeah.
And I think, though, that I must say, too, that you had, I don't know. I mean, I think every woman who is in a domestic violence situation.
Stop for a second. Do me a favor. Go give her a hug.
Oh,
I mean, I want to, but I can't get up. So go give her a hug.
I do all day, every day.
I'm sure.
She's
We
getting a hug
never
from her
leave
mother
each
right
other
now, for those of you
without,
listening.
I love you, see you later, never, ever. I don't care if I'm going out to get something out of the car. I love you,
Yes.
all day, every day. So,
Yeah, you can't say it enough.
Yes.
I completely agree with that.
She wasn't too embarrassed.
No.
Very good.
Hey, before we go any further, you want to say anything to your mom?
Oh, I just want to say thank you for she's always been my number one supporter, my best friend, and everything because I have a lot of big ideas, and sometimes my dreams are up here, but the work to get there is not really in order. But she always knows that I have the best intentions, and I'm also a very hard worker, and I owe that all to her. She pushes me every single day. When I don't feel like doing something, she makes me anyway, but
that's part
it
of
pays
it.
off in the end.
That's the mom part
Yeah.
of the deal, right?
And so I just want to thank her. And as an individual, she's an amazing person, and I want the best for her in life, and I couldn't have asked for a better mother.
I don't think she can ask for a better daughter either. Hey, Mike,
you.
she's going to succeed in anything she does.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about
In fact, her employers may end up having to put a lasso on her to hold her
tell
back.
you.
just a tad bit.
And I think that, I really applaud you, and I think that you're unique.
Thank you.
In the situation. I think she's unique because you were unique in what you were able to do with her. I mean, in honesty, the people that we see who come to us don't have the same resources, I think. And what happens is they're struggling so hard because you're all losing your income, right? You're losing like 100% to 50% depending on whether you worked at home the minute you decide to leave a domestic violence situation. Right. But not everyone, and we have a lot of people that may be bilingual. We have a lot of people that may have had other issues that have come up, may not have had an education, may not have been able to put themselves back through school. We see that a lot too. And so the resources that are given their kids sometimes are different because the struggle is different. And so I do applaud you on that. I think that that's been an amazing thing. But I think if we were to look at different, we see success in so many different ways, and I'm wondering about like your parents and your family. It probably was a little bit different for you.
Yes.
Maybe you weren't given some of the same opportunities, I think, and you've had to kind of do those yourself, which is more of who we see, sad to say.
Right.
Linda, let me interrupt you really quickly because we promised our listeners that we were going to give them that 800 number several times during the show. Can we give that to them again?
Yeah, 661-259-4357.
And go ahead and repeat that for the
661-259-4357 is the hotline. And we also do have a teen hotline that is 866-331-9474. So the teen hotline is 866-331-9474.
And you were going to Brenda, I want to hear.
Yeah, Brenda, what was it like for you as a little girl when you talk about your situation?
Well, unfortunately, my mother's still in the same situation. I still try, to be there, but it comes to a point where I have to start my own life. And, when I broke away from the cycle that I started to repeat, that's when I educated myself. I slowly learned this on my own, and then I came to the Domestic Violence Center in Santa Clarita, and I was like, this is my calling. I love it. I want to be here.
What courageous girls.
Yeah, really, very much so, very much so. And, we see that a lot with the clients that come in, the different stories. I know you know that from maybe, I don't know your story completely, but you couldn't make up the stories that people tell us.
Sure.
And the fact that, and I would say this to parents out there too, that if you are in a domestic violence situation, or if your child, boy or girl, has witnessed a domestic violence situation, they do need therapy to help them get through this. They do need you to, because they were part of it, they are going to repeat the cycle. Mm-hmm. And so when we see these teens are repeating something that they learned in their homes, and that is really, really hard to break because it is a learned behavior.
Right.
And as I've said before in the show, the stats will show that a batterer has seen has been battered. It's not that every batterer will choose it, but if I sit and I talk to a victim of domestic violence and she tells me about her childhood or tells me about his childhood, there's always that in it. All right?
There's a little connection
There's
there.
a little connection. The thing that they have in common really is childhood trauma. So whether or not you were left alone or whether you saw abuse is going to create some issues.
Your mission, how does people help?
There is a link. I'm doing it through GoFundMe. All of the money is wired to go directly to the NCADV. None of it comes to me, so you don't have to worry about that if that is a concern of yours. It is www.gofundme.com/NCADV18. That is the number 18.
Say it again.
Okay. www.gofundme.com/NCADV18.
Very cool, Mike.
Wow.
Hey.
The good news is there's help out there. Reach out.
There is help out there.
Reach out.
There is, for sure. We'll be able to, we're going to be doing relationship coaches too. That's another thing that we've been doing. So even if you want to call our domestic violence center at the hotline, the 661-259-4357 number, and, talk about, hey, I'm a teenager, I'm young, I'm maybe 11, I'm maybe 12, 13 and beyond, and I want to sit down with somebody and talk about it. At the age of 13, a teenager can actually get a restraining order without their parents' permission.
That's right.
I don't know if people know that or not, but they can get a restraining order without their parents' permission. So if they're in something that they may not want to tell their parents about, or maybe their parents haven't been somebody that they could reach out to, we can definitely protect them. And then we also know that the schools will honor that, and the schools will actually make sure that that teenage couple does not go into the same classes. They will work with them, and they will keep it private. So that's
Very
an important
cool.
piece for people to know.
Great. On that note, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be back with Linda, Brenda, and Christian in just a moment. This is Families in Action on your hometown station, AM 1220. Welcome back to Families in Action on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm Cary along with Mike, and it's Domestic Teen Violence Month, and what a show.
What a show.
I'm telling you, Linda, you've done some great shows with us. This beats them all.
All right.
Your
great.
guests just killed it.
All right.
No, they really
Ladies.
did.
No,
I mean,
I know. No, it's good to get real teens to talk about this. It's one thing for me to throw out stuff. But
no, they just killed it.
that's why it's great.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure people listening now. I believe knowledge is power, and boy, you gave a lot of power out today.
Good. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that.
And it's kind of it's same in my field. We know the people we lose.
Yep.
But the amount of people you save just by doing shows like this, people are listening. They might never call, but they're making decisions because of your stories.
That's great.
So
that's
know
great.
that.
Yeah.
So great job. And Linda, we got about 3 minutes left. Where do I want to give it to you guys. Where do you guys want to go with this?
And we want to do that 1-800 number again. And the teen number, we should do that as well.
All right. We have it's not a 1-800. The teen
Just
number is a
661.
1-800
I'm sorry.
number. But you're good.
You're
That's
close.
The teen number. You're very close, Silver Fox. We got
Thank you.
All right.
There you go.
So our local hotline is 661-259-4357, and our teen hotline is 866-331-9474. And if your kids, ask your kids if they're seeing us in their health classes. Find out what the information is that we're giving out. I think that would be kind of interesting. We do have a parent presentation that we give before we go into schools, and parents are always welcome to call us if they want to come in our office and kind of find out more about what we're doing.
I'd like for you guys to come to our support group. We have 30, 40 parents there and 50, 60 kids.
Yeah, we'd love to do that. So
Just tell me a Tuesday and you're on. I don't care
Okay.
when. Just
Okay.
You pick it.
Yeah, we're good. We'll get in touch with you about that. We also put on our webpage, which is I'm going. It's
2 minutes.
All right. It is dvc-scv.org. We have a guide for parents and teens. We had this last year too, Cary, and I know I sent it over to you, but we
Right.
put it on again for parents to look at again so they can understand what signs may be of domestic violence abuse with their kids.
Right.
But another thing that we're doing for the month is that we're having, just like we talked to these amazing women today who have experienced domestic violence, we're doing something called Awareness Through the Arts. We have 3 women who have come to us who have said, I've been in a domestic violence violence situation. I've turned my life around, but I've expressed it through an art medium. And so we have Tammy Seedling, who's going to do a dramatic performance, and we have Lorena Gordon, who has actually directed her own film, and it's about her time and her mother's time getting out of a domestic violence situation. And then we also have Katie Moffat, who a lot of you have heard. She's a country western singer, western singer here in town, and travels all over the world, I believe. And she's actually going to be there. So 3 women are actually going to, what they decided to call themselves was 3 women share their stories of success by exposing their silent secrets of soul survival through drama, film, and song. And it's this Friday night at Savia, where we are. Our office is located at 23780 Newhall Avenue. Tickets are $10, and it's at 6 o'clock. And you will get to see these 3 women perform. And we also will have a panel afterwards so that people can ask questions in case they're wondering about their own situations or where they find help or where they find resources. So that's going to be happening on Friday night at Friday the 12th at 6 p.m.
Very cool.
What a show, Cary.
What a show.
We have to thank Linda Davies, and we certainly appreciate her bringing Brenda and Christian with her. Wow. And Christian's mom, too.
Yeah, that's right. Yay! Yeah, that's right.
You know what? What's your name again?
It's Shauna.
Shauna. We never introduced Shauna, but yay, Shauna, thanks. You are an awesome person, an awesome mother, and great thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
She's also an awesome community member. She actually does. You work at our local college, correct? Are you? Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm a psychology teacher over there, and we have a group that we partnered with, Domestic Violence Center, Women's Space on campus. So that's a whole nother conversation.
She's over there with her.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
might want to bring you back.
I'm here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool. You know what? We gotta close it. The phone number is one last time.
So the phone numbers are 661-259-4357. That's your local hotline. And then the teen hotline is 866.
That's the 800 number. 866.
Yeah, I know we got it. 866-331-9474. Hotlines are mostly 800 numbers. I get you.
That's all right.
I know.
It's okay. I made a mistake.
Hey, it's
That's all
okay.
right. It's all right. I'll get over it. I really
could
will.
do the same thing, let me tell you.
And
All right.
like I said, you guys killed it. What a great show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for what you're doing. For people who want to donate, you got to say it one more time.
It's www.gofundme.com/NCADV18.
Very cool. And this show, there's no excuse not to be able to watch or listen to this show. I know we're Time Warner, Channel 20, 4 p.m. on Mondays. Check your other local cable stations. YouTube. You can always YouTube Families in Action and you can also go to KHTS's website. So no excuse. Thank you for all you guys do. We sure do appreciate it.
Thanks for having us on.
Anytime.
Yeah.
This is Families in Action on your local hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.